right, welcome back. Yesterday we started multiplying whole numbers by fractions, and I had 3 challenges for you to do with your counters, and so we're going to go over those first. So we've got 2/5 of 15. All right, so we know we have 15 counters, so if you get your 15 counters out, and we're going to need 5 in each row. That denominator is really important. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 10, and there's our 15. So we need 2/5 of 15. So we need to break these into groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're broken into fifths. We have 1/5 here. Oh, that's crooked. Oh, sorry about that. 1/5 would be 3 counters. 2/5 would be 6 counters. So 6 would be 2/5 of 15. Now remember, you can take this of out and put the multiplication sign in its place. So 2/5 times 15 gives me a total of 6. So I'm hoping you're seeing how this is a visual of what's going on with the numbers. All right, let's go ahead and erase that one. And the next one was 1/8 of 16. All right, so we need them in groups of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or I should say rows of 8, and then we'll put them in groups. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so 1/8 of 16. So that's just one of these. 1/8 of 16 equals 1, 2, 2. Now I notice, okay, I can go ahead and erase this and put the multiplication sign, but I notice I'm multiplying, and normally our numbers get bigger. But when we multiply a whole number times a fraction, we get something that's smaller because we're making them into smaller parts. That's just something I wanted to point out to you. All right, so this time we have 2/6 of 12. 2/6 of 12. So we have 12. Remember that denominator is important. We have to put them in rows of 6. 4, 5, 6. We need another row to equal our 12. And we're going to split them into equal groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to identify 2 of those groups. So here's 1/6, here's 2/6. And then we're going to look to see how many are in that part or that set of these counters. 2, 4. So 4 would be the answer. 2/6 of 12 equals 4, or we could take this out and put multiplication symbol. 2/6 times 12 equals 4. All right, so I'm hoping that you're understanding these, and moving those counters around I think really helps. It really gives a visual behind what we are seeing with the numbers. So I want you to get your problem set paper out, and I'm going to refocus this here so that you can see the problem set, and we're going to go over this problem set together. So first it says, find the value of each of the following. All right, so they have the counters already there for you. So they have, it says 1/3 of 9. So I notice they have 9 counters. And see, they have the lines just like we put pencils or straws or whatever you use to divide them up with. So we've got, the 3 is in the denominator. So we've got 3 in each row, and we've got 3 groups, 1, 2, 3. So 1/3 of 9 would be this first group, 1/3. And when we take a look at that, we notice that we've got 3 counters. So 1/3 of 9, or 1/3 times 9, would give us 3. So if we move on and we look at the first two groups, we've got 1/3 here. This would be 2/3. So we've got 2/3 of 9, or 2/3 times 9 equals 3, 6. 6. 3/3 of 9. Well, remember we talked about this yesterday. 3/3 is the same as a whole, or one whole. So it's the same as saying 1 times 9. Well, when we write 3/3 under this one, we've got 3, 6, 9. It is the whole thing. So 9. All right. So here for part B, they have 1/3 of 15. 1/3 of 15. So 15, we need 15 counters, and we need to have them, now they have them lined up differently. 1/3 of 15. So they have them so that, like if I turn this on its side, it would be 3 in each group. See, they have 3 in each group here, or 3 in each row. But they just have the rows done a little differently. We could draw it the other way. It's kind of like the idea of fact families. 3 times 5, 5 times 3. Okay, so we've got, and they've got the lines here to divide them into 3 equal groups. So we've got 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups. So if we have 1/3 of 15, so we need 1/3 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1/3 of 15 would be 5. Now, if we try to do it this way, let's see what happens. I don't have thirds. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have fifths. So that's how I determined that I would be going this direction instead of this direction, because that denominator is what rules. The denominator rules the whole thing. So I had to look for, where do I have 3 groups? So I have 1 group here, 1 group here, and 1 group here. That's 1, 2, 3. So that's how I determined that I would have to go this direction instead of this direction. Now here, you'll notice that thirds actually go this direction or this direction because of the number, since it's a square number. Okay, so let's take a look. There's 1/3. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One of the thirds. So what if we had 2/3? Well, 2/3 would be right here. So that would be 5, 10. Now 3/3, remember 3/3 means the whole thing, because 3 over 3 is 1. So that would be the same as saying 1 times 15. So we would put 3/3 here, and that would be the whole set, or all 15 counters. All right, so letter C, they're doing things a little differently again. They take the 20, and we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 10, and 10. So they've got them in rows of 10, and they decided to put them in 5 equal groups this way. So they've got 1 equal group, 2 equal groups, 3 equal groups, 4 equal groups, 5 equal groups. Okay, so these are all, they all have the same number of counters in them, and they are 5 equal groups. Remember the denominator rules. So one of these fifths, so this is one of the fifths. One of the fifths equals 4. That's 4 of the counters. Well, what about 4/5? Okay, well, we've got 2/5, 3/5, 4/5. So we've got 4 in each group, so it's 4, 8, 12, 16. Now, here they don't have the numerator in there. We have to figure out the numerator. So how many fifths equal 20? So how many fifths of 20 equal 20? Well, we've got 16 to write here. So we've got 4, 8, 12, 16. Well, what if we add in this group? What would we have? Well, we've got 4 more. We've got 16, and 4 more would be the 20. So how many fifths would that be? Well, 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5. That would be 5/5. So the missing numerator would be 5. Now, before we go on, I want to point something out. Now, if you take your, you know what? I want to wait on that. Let's hold on. Okay, so let's move on to letter D. 1/8 of 24. So again, my denominator rules. I need 8 groups. Well, let's check to see if I have 8 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I do have 8 equal groups. I should have 24. Well, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. I do. All right, so everything that I need to know is right here in the counters. All right, 1/8. Well, 1/8 would be right here. So 1/8 would give me 3 counters. All right, so 3/8. Well, this is 2/8. This is 3/8. So I've got 3, 6, 9. So 3/8, 4/8. 3, 6, 9, 12. So that would give me 12 counters. So 6/8. We've got 5/8, 6/8. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So that would give me 18 counters. 7/8. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. All right. Now, if you have any questions, then just let me know, email me. But I do want you to try a paper. The paper looks like this, and there aren't very many problems. You'll bring that back tomorrow, and we will go over that together. So use the counters in order to figure out the answer. You can use your counters at home. You can get those out. Now you'll need 35 counters in order to do these. And you'll need your dividers too. So I want you to go ahead and I want you to work on this and bring this back tomorrow. We'll go over it, and then I will have an exit ticket for you tomorrow. All right? So keep watching, stay curious, and always keep learning.